So, the upgrade that I just got for the tank is one of my favorites on the right side there, hover. So, as you might imagine, now that the hover gauge is full, I can use hover power to fly. And that's going to come in handy as I try and leave this area to circle back to the beginning of the stage. But as you can see, hover gives you limited flight, and the meter actually burns pretty quickly. But it offers a whole new way to travel and access areas that you previously couldn't get to because they were too high. So, see here, basically gives me more clearance in the air. And I always thought that was a cool power-up, being able to fly, even though it's somewhat limited, still kind of a neat option to have. And I am taking a lot more damage than I thought I was going to. So I need to be very careful of guys like this. In fact, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I am going to try and farm some of the guys over here for some life, because I do not want to die down here. That would be a tremendous waste of resources. But I don't know. Okay, there's one of the swarmers. Let's see if this will work. Okay. These guys are not dropping health power-ups, which is not particularly helpful. I wonder if I can cause them to respawn. Oh, man. That's not good. I really would hate to burn up a life here, of all places. But I don't think there's any other enemies that drop health power-ups. So, well, I have officially burned my first life. Just like my last playthrough, it happened on level 3. That's pretty funny. But, oh well. If I can avoid dying anywhere else, then should be good. I'd like to save my lives and continues for zones 6 and 7 and 8. So this area that we jumped past previously and couldn't reach, now with hover we can fly up, and what you may notice is now we can break these blocks, and this is a shortcut back to the first couple areas of this particular level. Very sort of Dark Souls-esque shortcut system here, which would basically make it so we don't have to drive all the way through the previous areas. We can just shoot the blocks, get through here, and then we'll be back on the first screen of Area 3. So that's nice. This game does have a couple areas where it gives you shortcuts to progress back if you have to backtrack, so that's nice. So we'll keep progressing through, trying to get some health power-ups, but back to Area 2, the castle. And I believe there's a shortcut from here. Let me see. Was it down here? Let's take a look. I know there's a way to circle back to the first part of this one. Yeah, I think it's down here. This is, yeah, had to think. This is, I wanted to show this off, and this was where I thought it was going. this is an area I have to come back to later, one of the power-ups, because that's going to take me to, I believe, area 7. If that's 7, then the one in 3 is 8, because we'll find out once we come back. And those grubs are really obnoxious. Sworn there was... That's the gate to area 3, which we just came out of. Maybe I'm thinking of a different screen that has the shortcut back to area 1. Oh, or maybe it's this one. Hey. Jerks. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. So I actually drove past here when I first got to level 2, but there was no need to come here at the time. But as you can see, this leads back to the main gates, or the main bridge of the castle. And we can get back to area 1 real quickly from here. It's going to be a matter of climbing up through here, avoiding all these mines, and then be back up at the gate where we destroyed the one boss or character that we couldn't kill before. And we just need to keep backtracking to the very first screen of the game where we dropped into the subterranean tunnels? Tunnels. It's not really clear. I guess if you're following the narrative from the original game, it'd make more sense. But I guess for Blaster Master, there's just this massive world beneath the earth that Jason never knew about. And he decided that he would fight the mutants while he was looking for his pet frog. It's not really clear. And so that area down below is actually a hazard area that will kill me, just like lava. And I need to be careful because in my last playthrough I actually died here. And I'd rather like to avoid wasting my lives on such a simple part of the game. So we're just gonna move on and try and get some health. Alright, I think we don't have full hover, but I think that's enough. So you may have seen this when we touched down at the very beginning of the game. So the game doesn't really flat out tell you, but this is the path to get to level 4. And so once you get hover, flying up here is pretty easy, as long as you avoid these guys jumping around. And here we go. We're moving right along. Alright. So this is area 4, the sewers. Now the sewers are pretty massive. This is a big level. There's a lot of twists and turns, and this was the area I'd always get stuck on as a kid because it's not entirely clear where you're supposed to go, and a lot of the areas look the same. Now, since I played through this as an adult, it's a lot easier to navigate. But I remember being really confused playing this particular level. And the music for level 4 is definitely pretty fitting. It's this sort of creepy, brooding song with you can hear, like, I guess it's supposed to be the boss or a monster in the background making noise as the track recycles. I always thought that was interesting. It seemed to be pretty appropriate for the level. So let's take a look at that dungeon. How many... I only had a couple levels off of my gun. Let's see if we can get a power up here. Oh! I see. Because I died, it leveled my gun all the way down. I forgot about that particular aspect of the game. So, I guess I'm going to have to make some side trips to these dungeons to power up my gun. Because I do not want to go into this next boss with a weak gun. This boss is actually pretty tough if you don't have a power-up gun at all. Now, I have to be careful as I'm navigating these really narrow parts, because if I hit the water, I will die. It'll take a life. And it's a really easy place to burn lives, and it ultimately continues, so I need to be careful here. Meanwhile, these little robot guys are shooting at me. And that's a little annoying, but it's not too bad. Alright. Okay. I think that was worth it. And I got the curvy gun, which is kind of lame, but at least now I have some range shots. I'll have to see how to get down there. See if there's another path I can take. I think it circles around at the bottom here. Nope. Oh, no, maybe it's down there. Nope. I guess that's a different dungeon. Okay. Well, at least I got a couple levels to start for my gun. Ideally, I'd want to get the wave, but we'll just have to see. So this is the start of the maze. This is where the sewers get kind of confusing. So I know I need to go down and to the left, ultimately. It's where the boss room is. So let's see if we can find a couple of the sub-dungeons here. Try and power up the gun. And again, that'll make dealing with the boss a lot easier. I know there's one... Is there a dungeon up here? Playing through this game back in the day without a map was always challenging, just because you had no idea if you were making progress or if you're going around in a circle. And in Blaster Master Zero, there's a similar level like this in the sewers, but they give you a map in that game, and it makes it infinitely easier to navigate.